I've got some awesome news for you, fellas. So we've just released our own game called Garage 54, which precisely corresponds with our own story. You can go ahead and log on and start with a modest garage, begin producing some small-scale vids, work on a few humble cars, and gradually build your way up from there. Grow just like we did back in the day. Hire a camera crew and some mechanics, move into a new garage, buy yourself some new equipment, edit some videos, grow a huge fan base. Get around to doing a few serious project cars, which you can then proceed to enter into races with other players. So yeah, basically the game is a reflection of our own journey. You can download the game for both iOS and Android devices. You'll find all the links in the video description. So go ahead and have a look, download the game, install it onto your phone, and have a ball. Hey there, fellas. Alright, so today I've got myself a car. Here it is. It does need a bit of attention, since as you can plainly see, it's missing a motor, with a gas cylinder placed in there instead. But that's not to say that it'll be propelling the thing. In reality, we're doing something a bit different. So cars tend to experience hydrolock not when they're stationary, but rather when they're on the move. So the engine is typically under load when someone is making a heroic attempt to make it through a swamp or a huge puddle. The gas pedal gets stomped and the motor takes in a bunch of water, leading to a so-called hydrolock situation, when the cylinders fill up with water. We know that air can be compressed, but water not so much. Right, so we need to install an engine. We'll put a decent one together and throw it in, after which we head out to the test track. There we pick up some speed, and inject some water from a pressurized cylinder straight into the carburetor. So I accelerate, give the gas pedal a good stab. The car is moving, inertia and what have you. And then we add some water, with an ensuing big bang. Okay, let's put it all together and go do some testing. Let's do this. Inducing hydrolock at 60 miles an hour. Translation and voiceover by BMI Russian. Alright, fellas, here's the situation. So look here, we've got two cylinders, each one of them containing about 1 bucket's worth of water and some compressed air to get a good stream of water happening in order to immediately fill the carburetor, the intake manifold, and the combustion chambers. We'll place a cylinder into a makeshift sort of holster. We've welded a fitting to the air cleaner box, though it doesn't have any thread. We'll fit a hose to that, tighten it down using a clamp, and we'll have water supplied to the carby. The car is going to be moving. In gear, I won't be pressing the clutch. So yeah, from the wheels and through the driveline in its entirety, we'll have some inertia going, which will keep the engine spinning. So the motor won't have a chance to just check out all of a sudden. The probability of something epically horrible happening, which is what I personally really hope for, perhaps we'll tear the engine block apart, or see a rod poking out, or maybe something else, who really knows at this point. Interesting to see what a true hydrolock situation looks like. Let's get to it. So we'll need to open the tap very quickly. So despite it being a ball type with plenty of flow, I'd still have a bit of trouble reaching over from behind the wheel. So Cyril will do the honors, while I keep the throttle pinned. Are you guys ready? Hit it. Then again, wait a second. That's 45. 50. Do it! Step on it. The car stalled, man. What, did that frighten you? Why'd the water go all over the place? No idea. Shut off the ignition. Let's have a look. Okay, so we have water dripping from the air cleaner. Okay, so that's where the water went. So there's no immediately apparent destruction. Want me to spin it up? With the starter motor? So one cylinder did take a little bit in. You think it'll start? I think so, yeah. I can see steam. No, doesn't look like it's gonna start. So here's what happened. The engine happily swallowed that bucket of water. There is water in the cylinders. We've got steam coming from the breather, so yeah, it's in there for sure. But with zero consequences. Why? Because Lada. Right, I say we do away with the air cleaner and find some way to get that hose right into that carburetor to supply the water directly. Perhaps I should have tried third gear instead of fourth, to keep the engine on the limiter. That way you'd have it drawing in more air at higher revs. Yeah, I think it's worth a try. Inject it straight into the carburetor, with no air cleaner in the way and no water escaping. Though the tube wasn't huge by any means, the water dispersed nonetheless. I mean, it was splashing inside the air cleaner itself and not making it into the carby. But now we get some direct injection happening while hitting the rev limiter in third gear. But first we tie a rope and pull start the car. The starter is spinning, but it appears we have wet plugs, though giving the car a tug should fix the problem. It's a lot after all, so this should work. The engine's running. Indeed. Slow down. Is it working? Sure. Oh, wait, not anymore. We need to keep going. Let's go a bit more. It just doesn't care. Not a single bit. Amazing. That was like 7 liters. These Lada engines, man. We've got white smoke coming from the breather. Stop. Oh, that's for sure. So we've got water in the engine oil. That can't be good. Let's do some fine-tuning. Alright, it works. We're looking good. As always, we're experiencing some rain, and now we rig it all up to send a stream right in there. I mean straight into the carburetor. Whoa, you slammed the door and I saw water coming from the carby. You know what we should do? Leave enough room for air to make it inside. And not choke the engine. Alright. Take 2. Let's do this. Okay, second gear. Third. I'm not going to be using fourth. We need to send it while it's under load. 45. 50. Flipping around. Did you hear that? Something happened for sure. That knocking noise. Just like a sewing machine. Yay! Oh wait, not quite. It is turning over. You seeing this? I have no idea. Alright, so in third gear I was giving it some revs, basically beating the guts out of it. We fed the water and heard some kind of rattling noise. It was making a high-pitched ring. We heard it rattle and thought that we're done. But it's alright. Is anybody aware of any shamans working at the Optivos factory? Beating drums at the end of the assembly line? The shaman working that day must have been worth his salt. Tell me about it. What's that? Some kind of jingle, I don't know. Maybe try a different gear? I don't get it. Perhaps try... It turned over. It is spinning. Yeah, you can hear it rattling. And we carry on. It's rattling away. Keep going. Keep on moving. Come on, babe, show me something. It's getting there. Just keep it in second for the time being. Come on. Yeah, it's alive. It's working, hear that? It is rumbling. Can't imagine why, though. Give it a bit more. Looks like it's spewing some oil. Okay, so here's the situation. We've got a bit of rain, which happens. We weren't able to kill the engine the second time around, but we'll try again. So we're actually missing a windshield. The point being that instead of using a cylinder, we're looking to pour water straight from a canister. Get the engine up to maximum revs and feed it right in. It looks like we keep missing when using that cylinder. I mean, the engine did seize up after it took in all that water. Plus, we cooked the clutch, and quite seriously, I might add. But after that, we were very much able to get the car to start by towing it around on a rope and helping the engine out with the starter motor. And that's just unacceptable. We need to keep trying until we finally silence it. Let's do this. So what gear would that be? Vlad put it into fourth instead of second. Damn it, Vlad! It's alright. And I drowned it. Yeah, you drowned it. Screw the damn thing. It finally went under. You savage. You do know you drowned the engine, right? I think we can get it to start again. I reckon it's not gonna happen. The water's everywhere. Looks like you splashed it all over the engine. You might have heard, though I don't know whether the microphone picked that up, but it did start knocking. At first it began to click, then it began to rumble, but at some point the clicks became even stronger, and then the engine completely seized up. Like it is firmly jammed. For some reason. Oh wait, look. Get me a rope. I think we should keep trying.
Oh, блин.
Come on now. Boy, yo, look at that. It ain't having it. Maybe some help from the starter. Come on. Come on. Stuff's all over the place. Come on, show me something. Bit of sideways action going on. Come on, babe, unstick yourself. Nope, the clutch gave up. There is no other way. No other way to make this work. And I run into a slight problem. What's wrong? The ignition key is broken. He must have been trying really hard. Yeah, the entire way I was like... Oh, there it goes. Nope, that's it. Ain't having it. We've got some in cylinder 2, 3, well, and 4 as well. In all of them, without a doubt in my mind. The spark plugs haven't even cooled off yet. Let's turn it over and see what's up with the water. Hey! That's not the water in the cylinders. Looks like something's up. Well, it turned over. It did budge slightly. That's a good thing. It's all over the place. Come on. No, looks like it's stuck. Wait, we should help it out with the starter motor on the rebound. I don't see how that'd work, but okay. We'll get behind the wheel then. Oh, wow, it's rotating. That didn't last long. Let's push it some more. Forward or backward? Let's try forward. You know what, let's try the other way. Stick it into reverse. Wait, no, first gear would make more sense. Roll it back slightly. If we can. Okay, now try forward. Well, I mean the same way it rotates. Nah, that's it. It won't go either way. Alright, so apparently the engine is completely seized up. It's not moving either way, with or without help from the starter motor. Even if you tow it, it still won't budge. The water made it inside and did its thing. What exactly happened? Well, that'll become clear as soon as we tear the motor apart. Okay, time for us to head back home, dismantle the engine and see what happened. Let's roll. And here's the aftermath, fellas. Look here. So the hydrolock... See how bent the rod is? And this one is actually okay. Then again, there's really nothing okay about it. So this one is also crooked. Bent in two directions. It's really not that bad. But let's go ahead and have a look at 2 and 4.
вверх, возможности выбить.
There is no way you're getting the pistons out through the top. The rods are bent so horribly that they're not coming out. So you've got the pin going through the middle of the piston, and the rod is bent so badly that it's actually coming in contact with the cylinder wall. So basically the piston hasn't made it out, the rod hasn't made it in, and we were whacking it with quite a bit of force. Nevertheless, we couldn't get it to move. This is the only way we could show them to you. I pulled them as far down as I could, and at a certain point, they lodge into the crankshaft saddle and won't go any further. Might as well hack it with an angle grinder or a plasma cutter. In any case, you can clearly see what sort of shape they're in. The main takeaway here is that we made an attempt at imitating hydrolock on a stationary vehicle once, with no inertia driving it forward, as opposed to having it moving. And I do remember we saw a few bent rods, but nothing too severe. But here the block is screwed, and the entire engine for that matter. 107%. We could extract them, but that would mean cutting the rods with an angle grinder. And that'll make it all just that much less epic. You can see how bent up they are as it is. Don't be driving into deep puddles. If you absolutely have to, use a snorkel or something, and try to get it up as high as you can. And that's all I have for you, fellas. Watch us, subscribe, don't cough. That's all I have for you. Watch us, subscribe, send in your comments and suggestions, give us a big thumbs up. Alright, catch you later.